No, by the way, just before I do get into this, the number of IT guys in Dubai and UAE, IT guys who are in the field of information technology, the number of people who are into banking, which I predicted at the beginning of the year. There's a huge, massive number of people who are being laid off, especially IT. Now it's IT. Many IT professionals are losing their jobs, and even bankers. However, between both, between IT and bankers, the technical side, IT and engineers and all that, engineers are losing their job because there are no projects. IT people are losing their job because, when you don't have departments to handle, you're shutting down people, servers, computers. You don't need so many IT professionals, especially highly overpriced ones. You can get easily from Bangladesh, India. IT is the same language. So third world countries, you get much more cheaper salaries. So, like I was saying, so I got this guy who booked my services. Okay. And this guy was at a senior level, earning a very good salary, I think of 50,000, okay, dirhams. 50,000 is roughly like, I think 17,000 US dollars month, okay. As an IT manager. So he booked my services, and whenever I make someone's resume, I don't just copy paste. I don't start writing things down. I explain to people. I educate them word by word, line by line, on the strategy of how I create and craft a resume. Now, I know some people will say, Loy, you're giving out your secrets. Well, I'm not insecure because you're talking of 16 years experience, and you're talking of me doing this every single day and learning and researching more techniques. So if you're trying to compete with me on a task, it'll take you a couple of years and you'll have to catch up. So I don't mind. I give out the secrets. I tell people, this is what you do at the heading, this is what you do first paragraph, this is what you do in the middle, side, left, right. This is how you break things down. So I walk them through the process, okay? And that is why it takes time. It takes time to create and craft a resume, because I sit down with the client, I understand his personality, I ask him questions. A CV has to match your personality. It has to match what the market wants, and it has to, generate interest and curiosity for them to call you. So you don't start putting stuff which is not you. You don't oversell yourself, or you don't undersell yourself, okay? But however, the problem that I find is the majority of people in UAE or across the globe, they are overselling themselves. Like this guy, this IT guy, I mean, his CV was 4 pages, okay? And you're not talking 4 pages of graphics like, some people have, like they have a border on a left or right side of the resume, a big block, and then they put, details, core strengths and all that. No, he didn't have all that. He didn't have all those gimmicks. He had line by line, like a newspaper kind of a format. Not newspaper, like a book kind of a format. And 4 pages of nothing but skills and praise and expertise. And it was like, I was like, what the fuck is this, man? He had put so many skills. He had put so many achievements. He had put so many amazing things about him. Immediately I asked him, the first thing I asked him is, man, if you're so good, if you're so incredible, you have so many skills, you know so many things. It is like he knew everything. If it looked to me, his CV looked to me like he had memorized everything from Satya Nadella to Larry Ellison to Elon Musk. He had memorized everything in the world, and he was the walking encyclopedia, like Wikipedia. So I told him, if you're so good, why isn't Google, Microsoft, Apple, Samsung, why aren't they chasing you? I mean, you are portraying yourself as if you're God's gift to mankind, that you are the one-stop shop in the world, that you know everything. There's nothing more for you to learn. you're so great, then why are you unemployed? Why aren't companies running to you, giving you a down payment of 100,000 and saying, here's a down payment incentive to join. Your salary is 50-60% more than the industry average. Plus, here's a severance bonus. See, the problem is if you overhype yourself, if you oversell yourself to such a level, number one, this is what is going to happen. Number one, first is the employer will think, man, if this guy is so good, why is he unemployed? So either he's bullshitting or there's something, fishy about this character. That's number one. Number two is the majority of people in the Middle East, okay, and especially in Eastern countries, they don't want to employ somebody who's better than him, someone who's smarter than them, someone who's so intelligent. Yes, I do read in books that always employ people who are better than you, and you get quotations like, if you are a lion and you employ an army of sheeps, then what do you think your army becomes? So you should be a sheep and employ an army of lions. Fine, employ people who are smarter than you. But this happens only if you're the CEO of a company. If you are like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, you employ people who are better than you in engineering, in technology, in IT, in marketing, sales, yes. But majority of people are not Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. Majority of the people, if they employ a guy who's smarter than them or better than them, that guy will change his job in another 2-3 years because he's always searching for something good. So people seldom, I'll tell you seriously, people seldom employ really smart, really amazing, really dynamic people. In fact, because I've been so close to owners and CEOs of companies, I've sat and studied how they think and employ people. This is an actual strategy that owners, CEOs, directors, and senior level managers follow. They always employ a guy who is not very smart, who is not very dynamic, who has maybe a personality of a frog. He either, like one of my previous bosses, Gabriel D'Souza from Quick Electric. He's a managing director of that company that had, I don't know today, but those days had $11 million turnover. He used to always employ someone who is like ugly, fat, old, doesn't know how to talk, doesn't know how to market themselves. The reason being is, this kind of person with low self-confidence, inability to talk, market themselves, they would want security. They would not want to change their jobs. So over the period of time, as they would learn more skills, they would become more valuable to the company, they would not leave. But on the other hand, if you tend to take someone who's dynamic, sharp, smart, they'll work only 1-2 years, and then the company has to go through the same headache of employing another person, trying to employ another person, the visa, the requirements, the induction, 6 months go waste. It's a terrible loss for the company. So if you position and market yourself as so amazing, so dynamic, one is the guy will think that, if I employ this guy, he'll not stay. He will not stay because he's so good. So what's the point of employing him? The other thing which an HR guy or a manager would think is, if I employ this guy, he'll take over my job and I'll lose my fucking job. So why should I employ my own threat? I mean, simple, very simple analogy. Now, I do personal branding, okay? There are a couple of personal branding people in my line of work. Now, I'm not talking the ones in US or, no, that is not my target market, okay? And their style is different from mine. So, but there are people who do my line of work, like resume rebranding, interview coaching, okay? There are people in my line of work. Now, what do you think would happen if I start advertising them or talking about them or marketing them? I'm digging my own grave. I'm creating my own competition. So then what will happen is, a customer will call me, boy, how much do you charge for a CV? Let's say consultation session 167. We'll call second guy, how much do you charge? He'll say 167, then they'll negotiate. Okay, Loy, don't go to Loy, I'll do for 150. Go to a third guy, he'll say, okay, fine, I'll do it for 100. And then competition will start, they'll bargain the prices. It's such a fucking headache. And then, I can always say, oh, I'm so good at that. Nobody will come to me. But then I've lost that particular customer. So in the same way, the guy who is employing you will think, fuck, if I get this guy and I ask him to join my team, when the management has to choose for a promotion, they'll be like, oh, the manager is not the best. This guy is better. So invariably, you have created fucking competition. So the guy will think, why should I employ this guy? So that insecurity is always there. People don't want to lose their job, or they don't want to create competition and make their life difficult. And getting a promotion is not easy. And getting a job is even more harder. So, yeah, I told this guy, I mean, listen, man, I agree, all these skills. Okay, fine. Tone it down. Tone your fucking CV down. Don't position yourself as so smart. He was a really smart-looking guy, but he knew everything as he stated. Long story short, he didn't agree with me that he had to tone his resume down, he had to tone his profile down. But, true to what I do, I gave him an option. I told him, this is the resume I would suggest, and I created one. And then I asked him, what kind of resume would you like? Okay, I created one that way also. So I told him, when you apply for any company, you choose one, and see what is the response. And I told him, don't send the same place, don't send the same place two resumes, and have a kind of like data sheet. 100 companies you send resume A with the title, 100 companies you send resume B, and check what is the response. So the one that works better, it's like split testing. That resume works out for you. So, yeah, see, in fact, one of my friends who's an engineer, we had made his resume amazing, totally world class. Seriously, we spent a long time on it. However, after a lot of Dubai projects got cancelled, he lost his job. He was working, they were doing the UAE rulers, some of his personal projects. All of them got cancelled, and these guys ended up losing their jobs. So, those days, when the property market was booming, he got responses very easily from the resume that I created. However, after he lost his job, when the downturn took place, he was not getting a job anywhere. So he told me that, and I kept scratching my head. I was like, we have made your resume to the best, from the words to the layout to the visual appeal. Finally, it occurred to me that the guy who is taking his interviews, or the guy is looking at his CV, he's some outdated dinosaur, some guy from India, maybe someone from my state like Kerala or South India, who is insecure about his fucking job, who has low self-esteem, not like me. Means he has low self-esteem. He's some Mallu chap, fat, and he look, oh, this guy's dynamic, fuck him, I'm not going to employ him. So what we did is, we toned down his resume. We didn't put a flashy photograph, we put a very ordinary looking one. We didn't use hi-fi words, we used very simple jargon. We dumbed down his CV basically. But we only put what was required. And before, it was like a one sheet power resume. We put it like 2-3 pages, okay? And we gave the normal format. We didn't put expertise, core competence. We just put simple work experience. To our shock and surprise, in 3 months, he not only got the interview call, he also got the job. He got 2 or 3 job offers. So it worked. Well, the salary was not flashy because of the downturn, but it worked. So what I realized was, sheesh, we need to play the game as per the market situation, the environment. Like if you're in the West, they do not appreciate a flashy resume. They do not appreciate photograph. You don't need to put your religion, you don't need to put your gender, you don't need to put your age, you don't need to put your marital status. But if you're in the Middle East, okay, you need to put your photograph, your religion, your marital status in some jobs, not all jobs, male, female, date of birth. So you need to put so many details which are unnecessary and not related to work. So go as per region, and depending on the job, if you're on the technical side, you need to not mention everything, but only at least what the company requires. And if you're looking out for a job that is very traditional in nature, where mostly people are like from India, Pakistan, or like engineering, on-site engineering, you don't position yourself as flashy with a suit and all that. In fact, one of my other friends, Malayali guys, born and raised in Dubai, he went for an interview with a suit. Okay, as soon as he went for an interview with a suit, the lady asked him, "I hope you are aware that this is an on-site engineering job," because he was looking smart and he'd come in a nice expensive car. So she said, "I hope you know that this is a job related to on-site engineering." So he asked her, "So why are you telling me that?" He's saying, "The way you're dressed." So then, because I had mentored him for a couple of years and he is a sharp cookie, he told her, "So would I be more qualified if I came in a sweaty overall, smelling, having a hard hat, and coming covered in mud?" So, I mean, he put her in a place. So moral of the story which I'm trying to tell you is, don't oversell yourself. Don't overdo it. Don't put everything in your CV. Don't make yourself look like God's gift to mankind. Just put what is required. There's a fine balance between underselling yourself, overselling yourself, putting useless fucking information, and being too short, and it's like making your CV look incomplete. So there's a fine balance. I wish I could tell you, try and experiment and see what works for you, because if you have the time, spend another couple of months or years to refine your resume and find what works. Or if you don't have the time, if it's a matter of urgency and importance, approach a professional. Not these agencies, not Naukri, Gulf, Monster. They'll give you a copy-paste CV from the computer. Approach a professional who will sit down with you one-to-one. And last if not the least, please use your common sense. Understand that if you apply for, let's say you apply for ADNOC and you're given your CV, they'll have your CV and your records in their database. You can't apply to them again with a new CV because it'll clash. Their system has your data. It'll clash and show, okay, he sent me this CV before, now he sent me this one. And if there's any difference or any discrepancy in the profile, you'll be flagged as a fraudster. So then don't blame anyone that you cannot apply or you're not getting jobs. So always remember, you apply in one place, most probably you cannot apply there again. Otherwise you'll be identified as a spammer or one of these guys who just keeps sending CVs to everyone. So I hope this added some value to you. Put your thoughts, comments down below, and let me know what you think. Love to hear from you. It's me signing off. Take care.